Champagne.
I'm really like the nigga. I'm really like the nigga. I'm really like the nigga. That's all facts. That's all facts. That's all facts.
Champagne hobby, you know. Basically, it's a story that everybody wants me to tell. I get on my Snap, on my Instagram, whoop, is a story time to my first function. Like, not my first party, but like my first function, because there's a difference between the two. A party is like a little white party is what I'ma just keep it as. Okay, so how can I put this without being like offensive? A party is some shit like, it's cool, it's not cracking though. It ain't popping like a function is. A function is when there's hella black people. But it's not just that. Like, there's black people, but it's just popping like in just general. It's everybody like is dancing, is having like a good time and all that. Like, that's a function in my eyes. Hold on. Hey, before anything though, go ahead and get your phone out and go follow my ass on Instagram. I don't know why you haven't. But anyway, so here's the story. Freshman year, it was a friend that I had, or that I still have, named like Justin. His older cousins used to go to this one school that's over here named like Santiago. In that school, and there was another one named Centennial, were big for just throwing like the best parties, period. It was just, hey, what you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm about to go to the Centennial party. It was like, oh, okay, for sure, bet. It was on that type of shit every single weekend. It was one weekend that his older cousins were actually throwing one at her house or whatever. So he was like, hey, like, what you doing this weekend? I was like, nigga, nothing. Like, so what's up? He was like, hey, it's my cousin is throwing a function. It's at her house, and that shit is about to go up. I was like, okay, bet, like, I'm there then. He was like, okay, cool. We are probably gonna spend the night and like get there like earlier, like right before the actual party starts. So I was like, okay, fine. Way before this, you feel me? I've been to hella parties. I was like 14, 15. Yeah, like, I've been to hella parties. There wasn't no functions. So like, I'm dancing with girls at like parties, and it's low-key weak. But the girls at the function are completely different than the party girls, as far as for what they're dancing like. You feel me? Boom. It's the night of the party. It's like an hour like right before. Like, furniture is out the way. Like, it's the whole house is just cleared. And it's a big house too. She never got a DJ. Like, she never paid for one. So it was when the party starts, it was starting to get packed a little bit more and more every like 5-10 minutes. You know, there'd be like a group of people that would keep on like walking in or whatever, right? So it's what they're playing music off is a big speaker. And it's like somebody's phone that's on it or whatever. We're all still having fun off this phone that like a person is just like switching songs on. I don't know, but it was like 10:30. This dude had walked in and he unplugged the phone, and he had friends like right behind him. They all had like DJ like gear like with them. Bro, he really like set up a whole like DJ like thing in like a cool 5 minutes. I looked at my friend's like cousin. I was like, you like pay for him? And I was just like, no, like I don't know where he even came from. When this nigga played the first song, I almost cried. This is the first time I ever heard this song. It was the song he played was it was D2B, and like it was my first time hearing it, and like it was like the bass really hit me like in my chest. You feel me? Like, I really felt that shit. So I heard that, I was like, okay, like I'm about to have fun tonight, like off tops. So boom, like the music's going. I'm with my friend. We're just like walking around, whatever, right? Another thing, is the girls at the functions be bad. I don't know if it was just a Centen and like Santiago thing, but they was bad though. Like a bunch of Mexican girls, fire. A bunch of light-skinned girls, fire. And they could dance. It's not the type like where they just kind of know how to, no, like I'm talking about like real like dipping and like really like yiking type. And that's the stuff that I was already used to, like watching. Yeah, I didn't do it yet. So it was at this party. It's everybody there is like an upperclassman, and we're like the only like freshmen there. But they all know each other somehow, and they're all like yiking and all that. It was one girl that I remember. She was Mexican. Her ass had a red skirt on. She was that fire. I'm throwing it out there. She had a red skirt on and a white top. And it was at one point where they had made like a little circle, and she started twerking, and like I low-key caught feelings. I actually still think about her like sometimes now. The night's still going or whatever. It's like 11:30. It's popping now. Like it's popping. Like there's bitches twerking all over the place. There's niggas just like hopping on everything. Woo. Okay, so it was one girl. She was dancing on the wall all by herself. Like she was turned so that like if you wanted to, you could have just like walked up and just like grabbed her. Me, I'm 14, 15, and her house looks like she a pro at this little dipping. You feel me? So I'm like, well, let me see what happens. You feel me? I hop on, and she going cool to like take your tights off. When she dipped, I was cool for a minute, and then she dipped like a couple more times. She was right. It was the first time I was cool. Like the second time I wasn't expecting, and the third time she had went like really low, and she dropped me. Now I don't get dropped like that. I've only been dropped like 2 or 3 times. It's really self-explanatory. If you're like dipping with a girl or whatever, and you fall back and you hit the ground, you just got dropped. Like, she just dropped. I kind of do not count it, is because at that point I wasn't actual pro yet. I was kind of just learning how to yike and really dip like that. So I don't really count it. But it was at like Dante's like March Madness is like when I got dropped. And then there was like another function that I got dropped. But except for those 2 girls that I got dropped by, like, I don't get dropped. I don't take L at all on tops. So anyway, so back to the party, whatever. So it's popping. You feel me? At that time, I didn't really 2-step like that. Like, I knew how, but I didn't really 2-step like that. So niggas was kind of just like watching niggas dance or whatever. You know, I'm 14, 15, and I'm at an upperclassman party, so I'm low-key nervous. You feel me? Like, I'm not trying to do some dumb shit, and niggas like, the fuck, like, what is this nigga doing? Because I was that type of nigga. Here's how the party ends, right? It's the cops come. That's, you know, like, regular. So they had came and like left. It was the owner of the house was like, hey, it's like, y'all, I gotta go. So everybody was like, all right, cool. I think I was talking to some female or whatever, and I was walking her outside, and there was a fight that happened in the middle of the street. And that was my first time seeing like a real like fight right after like an actual function. And it wasn't no ones, because you know how niggas don't run ones like that. So it was like a whole like brawl. So it was 2 like black guys like, you know, fucking like squabbling or whatever. It was so one of these niggas' friends had hopped in, and they both started to beat on that one person. 3 like Mexicans hopped in, they jumped on those 2. So it was just like a big brawl. How it ended was, it was the cops had like circled like round, and they put on their lights as they were about to go up the actual street. Niggas scattered like bugs, like niggas just dipped. So I spent the night there or whatever, and like it's me and my friend are like, we're not traumatized, but we're like, that shit was lit. Like functions like that, it was like the morning after is when you have like flashbacks. I don't know if it's anybody else, but for me, the like popping parties, it's the day after. I get flashbacks in like the most random times. Like, hey, like I really swung that bitch last night. Like I get flashbacks to like the best parts of the night. So 15, 14 is when I hit my first function. Basically, you feel me? Like, subscribe, champagne gang or don't bang, nigga. Yeah.
That's all facts, that's all